All right, I got the gas pedal linkage in, fully hooked up to the carb, gas pedal on, and works good. So that's good to go. And then got these seat belts in. These weren't really the original seat belts. I think they came out of a car because I had to extend them. So Allie, let's see, had Allie braid some rope for me. And see by doing that, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's an extension there on the seat belts. Got the fuel sending unit wire in, as well as the dome light, and it's routed down along here and then back into there. And once I get the actually, I can probably go ahead and close that off with the sill plate, but all right, moving on to some other things now. All right, my engine harness came in, and I got that thing run. Problem is, I got to get a different sending unit, temperature sending unit down here, so you can see it. Yeah, because this is a 2-terminal that goes to a setup with just lights in the gauges where you have a cold and hot indicator. So the correct one is going to have to be the single terminal sending unit. It'll have a single terminal on it for this lead there, because I'm using a gauge that'll read the temperature. So yeah, I got that all run along there, and it'll plug in there at the firewall, but I'm gonna wait to plug it in for when Claude's here so I can be on the back side of it. This is the oil sending, or oil pressure line coming out of there, and they give you plenty of length there, but this is copper. So what I'm gonna have to do is cut it down here and get the, I don't know if you can see that or not, right in there, there is a, again, that's for a gauge set that just has lights to tell you when the oil pressure is low. So that's got to come out of there, and I have to get a coupling to go into the block and hook that oil pressure line in, and get that all squared away. Whatever routing will look best, I guess, along the firewall there. I'll probably bring it down somewhere like that. Kind of tether it to the firewall somewhere or another. So yeah, that's hooked up. Hooked up to the starter. So that engine harness should be ready to go. And then I've got the lights harness as well. And it's all hooked up. See if I can get some light on this. Yeah, so this one comes up right in here and plug into the firewall there. And this is for the headlights, which will plug into the bottom side of that. Again, I don't want to plug those in until I have somebody on the back side of that, so it doesn't want to push through firewall. Got the alternator hooked up. Voltage regulator back in there, hooked up. Got the horn relay, all those leads hooked up. So, and I've got it grounded as per the instructions. The ground wire coming off the harness goes on the, there's a bolt. There's a bolt coming out of the side. There it is, out of the side of the voltage regulator. And that black lead right there goes to the negative side of that alternator. And then the chassis of the voltage regulator I've got grounded right there against the radiator support. So everything should work. Hopefully I don't have a meltdown when I go to try to fire this thing up. So so I got that working. Got to pick up my temperature sending unit and get my coupling that I'll need for that oil pressure line. So probably pick that up tomorrow morning. See, what else did I do? I think I already talked about this. Yeah, I got the gas pedal linkage and all that in. So what I'm gonna do now is get up underneath that dash and tighten up, well, maybe I'll wait till tomorrow. Tighten up that oil pressure line just to make sure it's nice and snug. Certainly don't want to start this thing up and have an oil leak, particularly inside the inside the cab. That would be a catastrophic event. I'll probably have Coleman get up underneath the dash with a rag on that thing just in case it wants to try to leak, so it's not going to be throwing oil all over the place. Hopefully I won't even have an issue, but all right, yeah. And so the linkage on the carburetor, obviously coming out of that back there, that's what we had to modify, get a couple bolts, and then that linkage right there coming out of the firewall hooked up to the carburetor linkage and the spring here. So everything seems to work well. I got the choke hooked up too. So far so good. All right, see you next time.